For past 2 days, Sayadaw has been explaining about the Nama Rupa that are Dukkha Satcha at the moment of hearing. When one is noting hearing, at the moment hearing is taking place, and when his or her mental strength, viriya, sati and samadhi, effort, mindfulness and concentration become strengthened, one comes to discern distinctly between mind and matter. Discerning mind and matter, one removes wrong view. One removes the wrong view of Sakkaya Ditthi, personality view, and one removes the wrong view of Jiva Atta, individual soul. One removes the wrong view that it is being, living soul that is hearing. So in this way, discerning mind and matter, one removes wrong view. When one's viriya, sati and samadhi, effort, mindfulness and concentration become strong, the samadhi khanda, the concentration group, becoming strong, and one discerns that the nama and rupa are arising as cause and effect. So discerning cause and effect, one understands that these nama rupa are arising not without a cause. Discerning that relevant cause giving rise to relevant effect, one will no longer believe in things that are not the real cause. In this way, one also removes fictitious wrong views. When one understands cause and effect, when one understands that relevant cause giving rise to relevant effect through the practice, one automatically understands that it is not Mahabrahma that is creating. So in this way, one removes the wrong view of Isara Nimana. One removes the wrong view that it is the Creator creating the world and also animate and inanimate things. So when one discerns cause and effect, one removes the wrong view that it is the Creator creating. In order to remove these wrong views, one should note hearing at the moment hearing takes place. Being mindful of hearing at the moment of hearing taking place, one understands that because there are ears, one hears the sound. And because there is sound to be heard, one hears. If there is no ear or if there is no sound, one will not hear. So the ear and the sound are the cause that causes one to hear. So the ear and the sound are the cause, which are materiality. And because of the ears and the sound, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling takes place. Hearing contact, hearing feeling, hearing consciousness, they are the effect, which are mentality. So in the case of hearing, Are the ears the Mahabrahma that are creating? Of course not. And also the sounds are not the Mahabrahma, but these are Rupa, materiality. Because there are sounds to be heard, hearing takes place, and these sounds are not Mahabrahma, they are not creator. So when there are sounds to be heard and ears to hear, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling takes place. So hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling are the effect, they are mentality. So when the sound wave strikes the ear base, hearing consciousness takes place, there will also be hearing contact and hearing feeling. What is arising at the moment of hearing are the ear base, the sound waves, which are materiality, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling, they are mentality. So there is no atta, there is no being, no soul involved in hearing. And also, these are not created. The ear, the sound, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, hearing feeling are not created by the Creator. Because the sound wave strikes the ear base, hearing consciousness takes place, hearing contact, hearing feeling takes place. So hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling are ignition elements. And these ignition elements are not created by Creator. Because the sound wave strikes the ear base, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, hearing feeling arises. So they are effect. So these nama rupa are arising at the moment of hearing. So when the sound wave strikes the ear base, these hearing consciousness, hearing contact, hearing feeling arise. So at the moment of hearing, the things that yogis should discern are hearing contact, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling, which are mentality. And yogis should also discern ear base and the sound, which are materiality. So these 5 things are to be discerned by the yogi. So it is called sabba. At the moment of hearing, one should be discerning any one of these 5. They are called ayatana. They are the basis. The ear sensitivity, it is the receptor. The sound waves are the striker. So these ear sensitivity and the sound waves are called sakaya because they are existing. They really exist. The ignition element, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling, they are ignition elements. They are also called sakaya because they are the materiality that really exists. So in this way, these mentality and materiality really exist. They are paramattha, the ultimate truth that can be discerned from one's own direct experiential knowledge. So because these paramattha really exist, they are not imaginary. By being mindful at the moment of arising, one can discern directly from one's own experiential knowledge. That's why they are called paccaka, because they can be discerned through one's experiential knowledge. They are not imaginary. When the yogi is noting diligently, precisely, yogi can explain what he/she comes to experience during the practice. So for diligent yogis who practice precisely, they can report what they experience, what they found out from their practice. And Sayadaw says, yogis who are thinking, imagining, when they come for report, their report does not have any essence. They may be talking a lot in the interview, but there is no true essence in their report. So what they are reporting are from their imagination and not from the knowledge. So it will not be paccaka jnana. It is not from direct experiential knowledge, and what they come to find out are not the true nature or not the truth. So what they come to know will not be true. Even if the yogi might be honest, but if he/she is not practicing precisely, then he/she will not be developing knowledge, and thus when they come for interview, they will report from their imagination and thinking and not from their direct experiential knowledge. So what these yogis will be knowing will not be true, and the way they are reporting, the teacher will begin to doubt in the yogi, and thus such kind of thing will bring doubt. So when they are reporting in that way, it shows that the yogi is not practicing properly, and it shows that the yogi is not noting the object with aim and effort. So not noting the object with aim and effort, the mindfulness will not stick onto the object, and khanika samadhi, momentary concentration, will not develop, and thus yogi will not discern the truth. So in order to discern, one should note the object with aim and effort so that there will be sustained mindfulness. When the mindfulness is sustained on the object, there will be khanika samadhi, momentary concentration. The mind will fall calm and collected on the object. At times, the noting mind may fall on the ear base. At times, the noting mind may fall on the sound. At times, the noting mind will fall on hearing consciousness. And at times, the noting mind may fall on hearing contact. And at times, the noting mind may fall on hearing feeling. So in this way, yogi will discern any one of these five. And the yogi is said to discern. By discerning the nama rupa that are really existing, it is said that the yogi mind falls on sakkaya, the mind and matter that really exist. When the noting mind falls on sakkaya, the mentality and materiality that really exist, then the yogi discerns the truth. Yogi discerns correctly, and yogi discerns mind and matter. Discerning mind and matter, yogi removes sakkaya, ditthi, personality view. And also, By being mindful, yogi can also discern cause and effect, and such kind of yogi will be able to report in a simple way what he/she found out about cause and effect from his or her experience of practice, and such kind of yogi can report correctly from his or her knowledge. And what he/she come to know will be correct. And such kind of yogi can explain clearly, precisely, so that the meditation teacher will have no doubt in the yogi. Doubt will be removed. So in order to be that kind of yogi, one should be noting the presently arising object with aim and effort, so that mindfulness will be sustained on the object. In order to do so, yogis should be mindful continuously every single second on the object that is arising at the present moment. At the moment of hearing, the receptor, the ear base, and the striker sound waves are the cause, which are materiality. And due to these causes, hearing contact, hearing feeling, hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling take place as an effect, which are mentality. So the ear base and the sound waves, which are materiality, they are not the only cause. There are other causes which are mentality producing the effect, hearing consciousness. When yogis are doing either the sitting meditation, walking, or when they are practicing in other posture, they are noting on the object with aim and effort. When they are noting the object with aim and effort, there is manasikara, the attention. The attention is on the object that is noted. Practicing thus, one is discerning the true nature of the object by noting it with aim and effort, and also having attention. When other objects arise, when his or her attention is no longer on the object that the yogi has been noting, then the attention goes onto the new object. When the attention goes onto the new object, yogi will not be aware of hearing anymore. So it is said that when there is attention, the yogi also is aware of the hearing. If the attention goes on to some other thing, one will not be aware of the hearing, and thus there will not be hearing consciousness, hearing contact, or hearing feeling. Only if there is attention, only if the attention is directed onto the sound, will there be hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling. So this attention is the cause, which is mentality, that gives rise to hearing consciousness, hearing contact, and hearing feeling. And also there are other factors which is the cause for hearing to take place. Even though there are sounds to be heard, but if there are walls that are hindering the sound, then one cannot hear. So there must not be any wall or fences in between. There should be space. So in this way, space, which is paṇḍitā concept, is also supporting for hearing to take place. In Abhidhamma way, there are 4 factors that are causing hearing to take place: the ear, the sound, attention, and space. So these are the 4 factors. So if all these 4 factors are present, even if thousands and tens of thousands of Mahabrahma will be creating the person to hear, if all these 4 factors are present, even if the thousands and tens of thousands of Mahabrahma may be creating the person not to hear, but the person will hear, because all these 4 factors are present. If any one of the 4 factors are deficient, even if hundreds of thousands of Mahabrahma may be creating the person to hear, but the person will not hear, as any one of the 4 factors are deficient. So in this way, the Mahabrahmas cannot do anything on these nama rupa that are arising as cause and effect. So these Mahabrahmas cannot create the person to hear, they cannot create the person not to hear. So hearing is taking place based on these 4 factors: the ear, the sound wave, the attention, and the space. So given these 4 factors, there will be hearing. No Brahma can stop the person from hearing. So understanding cause and effect, understanding that relevant cause giving rise to relevant effect from one's direct experiential knowledge, one can remove fictitious wrong view. Not discerning cause and effect, one believes in Mahabrahma creating things, one takes faulty cause as the real cause, and thus there will be fictitious wrong view. So by being mindful, by understanding that relevant cause giving rise to relevant effect, one removes the wrong view of Ikara Nimana, one removes the wrong view that it is the Mahabrahma that is creating. By developing Yatha Buddha Jnana, by developing knowledge, discerning things in the way they really are, one removes intense delusion that is causing the person to believe in the Mahabrahma creating things. Not discerning cause and effect, the wrong view of Mahabrahma has become deeply seated in the person. It is called abhinivesa. When one discerns cause and effect, one removes this wrong view. It is said that Yatha Buddha Nupassana Bhavanto Samoha Binivesa Pajahati, meaning that when one discerns things that are assisting. By developing such kind of knowledge, one can remove the wrong view, such as Mahabrahma creating things. So in this way, discerning correctly, one removes wrong view, and one will also be removing doubt, wrong view, uncertainty. So, in order to gain Yathabhuta Jnana, in order to discern knowledge, understanding things in the way they are, one needs to be practicing. In order to discern Dukkha Satya and Samudaya Satya, the truth of suffering, the truth of origin of suffering, which are profound and thus difficult to be, the Dukkha Satya and Samudaya Satya, which are difficult to be discerned and thus profound. In order to discern these truths, one should be mindful at the moment of their arising. If one is not mindful of these Dukkha Satya and Samudaya Satya at the moment they are arising, then there will be delusion, ignorance, not knowing, knowing wrongly, craving and clinging. When one is being mindful, one can remove ignorance, craving, clinging, doubt. All these defilements will be destroyed, removed. So in order to remove these defilements, one should practice systematically. Removal of these opposite mental states, removal of these defilements are connected with the systematic practice. That's why it is said, Patipakha Vidamana Pana Samapatipati Patipata, meaning that removal of opposite mental states are connected with systematic practice. In order to practice systematically, one needs to know the correct method. In order to know the correct method, it is said, Sa Sadhamma Savanadina, meaning in order to know the correct method, one should learn the sublime teaching of the wise person, such as the Buddha. In order to discern Dukkha Satya and Samudaya Satya, in order that these truths will be obvious to the person, one should remove the defilements. Removing the defilements is connected with the systematic practice. In order to practice systematically, one needs to learn the sublime teaching of the Buddha. So in order to discern the truth, first of all, one should observe sila, morality, and one should learn the method how one should practice so as to discern mind and matter, cause and effect. So one should learn the correct method, one should listen Saddhamma, the sublime teaching of the Buddha. It is said that it is sublime teaching, the Dhamma. It is not ordinary Dhamma, but Dhamma has the quality of uplifting, supporting, lifting, helping the practitioner who practices systematically so that she will not be inferior or degraded. And such kind of Dhamma is taught by the Buddha. If one does not know the correct method of practice, then the person is inferior and degraded. When one learns the correct method of practice, when one knows the method, then the person is uplifted. That's why there should be priyati, there should be learning of the correct method. Knowing the theory alone is not enough. It is not enough just to learn the theory by listening, reading, or from teachers, but one should put this theory into practice. One should put what one has learned into practice. So one should practice according to the method one has learned, so that one can discern the truth, dukkha satya and samudaya satya. Even though dukkha satya and samudaya satya are difficult to be discerned and profound, but it will be obvious to the person when one can remove the opposite mental states, when one can remove the defilements. So in order to remove the defilements, one should practice systematically. In order to practice systematically, one should learn the correct method of practice. So it shows that if one does not know the correct method of practice, one cannot do anything. One is not getting anywhere. So in order to discern the truths that are profound, one should remove the defilements, the opposite mental states. The removal of opposite mental states is connected with the systematic practice. In order to practice systematically, one needs to learn the correct method of practice. Learning the correct method of practice is also connected with faith and confidence on the person who teaches, and also one should have faith and confidence in the practice. So yogis who are practicing, they are learning the correct method of practice. They are listening to the Dhamma talk for 1 hour every day. So in order to learn the correct method of practice, one needs faith and confidence in the one who teaches, who guides the way. And yogis, they are also getting help from their meditation teachers, and it is important that they have faith and confidence in the teacher. Without faith and confidence, yogi will not practice according to the guidance and instruction. That's why it is said, Dan Satari Dhammeja Pasadayata, meaning in order to practice systematically, one should listen to the correct method. In order to learn the correct method, one should have faith and confidence in the Buddha who guided the way. One should have faith and confidence in the Dhamma, the teaching. So one should have faith and confidence in the Buddha, and one should have faith and confidence in the Dhamma. One should have faith and confidence that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one can get 7 benefits such as purification of the mind and so on. So yogis should ask themselves whether they really have faith and confidence in the Buddha who guided the way, whether they have faith and confidence in the Dhamma. If they are not willing to take refuge in the Buddha, if they are not willing to give respect in the Buddha, they should ask the question whether they really have the faith and confidence in the Satipatthana practice, that Satipatthana practice can give the 7 benefits. Having faith and confidence in the practice, one will develop strong will to practice. So combining these two, faith and confidence and strong jhana, one will be willing to give up the worldly happiness in order to gain. So there will be parityāga, giving up the worldly happiness. By giving up the worldly happiness, there will be parigāha, gaining. Giving up the worldly happiness, one has to give up very little, but one will gain much by giving up the worldly happiness. So in this way, in order to practice systematically, one needs to listen to the correct method. In order to listen and follow the correct method, one should have faith and confidence in the teacher who is giving guidance. One should have faith and confidence in the Buddha who guided the way, and one should have faith and confidence in the Dhamma. Having faith and confidence, one will have respect and one will value the practice. Without having respect, without valuing, cherishing the practice, they will not be able to practice diligently. And Sayadaw will continue to explain tomorrow. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.